Hi guys, it's Emma. This is Journal of a Piano Teacher. We are now into the month of March, year of 2021. I just finished my last student for the week. So I am still teaching 12 students. On Monday I teach Eli at 3 o'clock-ish. And then I teach Abby. 5 o'clock I teach Benny, and then 6 o'clock I teach Ronnie. The student that I was teaching after Benny, I can't remember her fake name, but she decided to take a month off of piano lessons. So I'm currently not teaching her. She finished lessons last week or the week before, I think. Then on Tuesdays I teach two of my newer students, Rachel and Ronnie's sister. I can't remember her name either. Sorry about that. And then I also teach 4 o'clock is Joy, 5 o'clock is Ella, 6 o'clock is Pinky. And then Wednesdays I teach the boys, my 2 boys that I teach while I'm in town at my other job. And then I have a brand new student who just started, Marta, and this is her 3rd week of piano lessons, I think. I don't think I've really talked about her yet, but she's 8 years old and never taken piano lessons before. She has an older sister who did take piano lessons for a number of years before they moved here into my area. So she has a bit of musical expertise in her house and help that way, which is kind of nice. Anyways, I am already planning for the spring recital, the end of the year recital. I purchased a duet book and a couple other pieces of music at the beginning of the week that I have been handing out. There is our particular quartet. It's called the Balloon Pop Polka, and I put 4 of my boys together to play that. Eli and Ronnie will be playing together, and then the 2 brothers, I can't remember the names I made for them. I know their real names, I promise. They're playing in that quartet all together. It'll be really fun. I already handed it out to all of them this week so that they can start learning it, because it's got some complicated counting, and I really want them to do well and succeed on that for the recital. I've also handed out, no, actually I take that back. I've only handed out the quartet. I'm going to start handing out some duets. I've finally decided on Duet Teams. Let's see. Rachel is going to be playing a duet with my sister, who is the same age as her, and they're actually friends. They met previous to me teaching Rachel. Let's see. Of course, Joy and Ella will play together again, and it's just a matter of them choosing which duet they want to play. I put Abby with Marta, so there'll be a new duet pair. Abby, of course, has played in a recital before. Marta is new, but they're both around the same age, and I wanted them to have the opportunity to play together. And then, let me think. So there's the quartet. What other duet teams am I missing? Benny, I haven't quite figured him out yet. I haven't decided what I'm going to have him do. I think I'm going to play a duet with him. I'm going to talk to him next week, and we're going to make some decisions. And then Pinky is playing with, hang on, I want to give you the correct name. Where are my piano names? Oh, there they are. Oh, Helen. Yeah, Helen is playing with Pinky. And so I went over a couple options with them. Lizzie is the student who is taking a month off. I may be starting one of my old students, one that I taught last year, previous to COVID shutdown. I can't say her name, but and I don't have a name made up for her yet. So she was one of my first students in this area when I first moved here. I contacted her mom and said, hey, are you interested in restarting? Apparently they moved to a city about 2 hours away from me. But we have a couple of options. For giving her lessons. I think they might come over once a month on a Saturday or a Sunday and have an in-person lesson, and then I'll be teaching her virtually the rest of the time. I've never taught virtually, so we'll see how that goes. But I really miss her, and I'd really like to pick her up again. She would be 14 now. Wow. But she was really succeeding playing the piano, and I'm sure she misses it. I miss her. Crossing my fingers that works out. So, yeah, duets for the recital, quartet for the recital. Lessons this week were decent. Let's see, Eli is flying through his songs. I've been able to give him more of a practice load just because he is succeeding so well and he's practicing a lot. And I have no doubts that he probably will return to me having learned his part for the quartet next week. I hope that's not the case because I don't want him to learn it too quickly. But if it is, then great. That's awesome. Let's see. Who comes after Eli? Abby. Oh, Abby's lesson was rough again this week. She did practice some. It's just she was having outside issues. She was bouncing off the walls and having meltdowns, and it was just up and down all the way through the lesson. Just about broke my piano bench. So, fun times. I had to deal with tears. Also had to have a serious talk with her about she's not bad when she can't play something. We're here to learn, and it's okay if you don't know something completely all the way. She's Miss Perfection and thinks she has to play everything right or else she is bad, and I'm not sure exactly where that's coming from because I've been really careful about what I say to her. So we had to have a talk about that. That's the second time I've had to talk to her that it's okay, this is part of learning piano. I also had to be very firm in telling her that I'm the teacher and I do know what I'm talking about. So when I tell her she's speeding up or slowing down, I know that she is, and she doesn't know better than me. I'm the teacher, she needs to listen. So we had some interesting discussions at the lesson. Hopefully next week will be improved. And then, let's see, I had a few attitude issues this week. Ella had a massive attitude on Tuesday. Had to be pretty firm with her too. She just tightened those lips up and You could tell she was pouting and didn't like it and didn't like piano at all. She didn't think it was fun. And so hopefully playing duets with Joy for the end of the year recital will cheer her up and put the fun back into piano. I'm not sure why she was having an issue. Maybe she just had a long day. I don't know. She's not normally that way, so I kind of just gave her a break. She's succeeding. I mean, she practiced all week, I could tell. She passed almost all of her songs. Let's see. Skipping back to Abby. So after Abby was Benny. He needs to be practicing more. I don't know what the deal has been, if he's just busy, but I hope he cracks down and is practicing more. He's hitting some challenging pieces, and I'm hoping that's not shutting him down, because he can't be declining in his skills. He needs to keep plugging through, or else he's going to get discouraged. So if this happens for a third week in a row where I can tell he's not really practicing, I'm going to have to text his mom and tell her kind of what's going on with that. Then after Benny comes Ronnie. He is also hitting some challenging spots, but he's taking it like a trooper. I was a little bit harder on him on this past lesson. I haven't really been that hard on him at all, because he's just so self-motivated. But I kind of gave a tiny bit of pressure, good healthy pressure, and just to see how he would handle it. And he did very well. I could tell he was surprised that I was pressuring him, but he handled it like a pro. And I'm looking forward to seeing how quickly he progresses, because he loves piano. It's so fun to see his motivation. Then that was the end of Monday. Tuesday began with Rachel. She's by far my most advanced student now. At 13, she is pushing through her music. I am kind of surprised. I'm so used to teaching beginners that it's kind of strange to be teaching someone who, first of all, practices, is this advanced and so self-driven. She reminds me of myself a lot, and reminds me of my sister as well. And I cannot wait to tell her next week that she will be playing with my sister, because they're friends and they'll have a lot of fun. I am not going to ruin the surprise as to what they're going to do, but it's a very special, organized duet. And then after Rachel is Helen. I think she's getting to the point where stuff is not super simple, because she just began a few weeks ago and things are becoming more challenging. I'm hoping she's grasping everything and it's still not going too quickly for her. Her hand position is getting a lot better. She's just so sweet. She takes everything into stride. She actually didn't have a lesson last week. She had to skip because she was sick. She went skiing, and I think she got a bit of a cold from that. So she was still a little sniffly when she came, which doesn't bother me. Just as long as they are not sneezing everywhere, I don't mind if they still come to lesson. Then after Helen was here, then I taught Joy. She wasn't quite as high-strung. I still don't appreciate the fact that her father feeds her ice cream before she comes to piano lessons. But there's nothing I can do about that. I haven't figured out a way to talk to her parents about that issue. But yeah. Gave her some duet options. She really liked Oh When the Saints Go Marching In to play with Ella. And Ella did not like that one, so we'll see what they decide. However, already talked about Ella's lesson, and then after Ella came Pinky. Okay, so Pinky is 16, and she began piano lessons not too long ago. Also has musical background. I know I've talked about her experience. Anyways, a high schooler, she is currently in drama and is in the middle of practicing for a play, so that kind of has consumed her time. So she has not been practicing much over the last 2 weeks, but I told her that she's going to be playing with Helen in the recital, and she's actually very pleased and excited to be playing with someone her age because she played with Abby for the December recital, which she was totally cool with. She didn't mind, but she was also very excited that I would pair her with someone who's closer to her age. So she has that to look forward to, and I was very proud of her. Today is Wednesday that I'm recording this. She arrived at the building today and said, "May I practice?" So I let her in, and she practiced in the other room while I was teaching Marta. Before I taught Marta tonight, I went into town and taught the two boys, Mason and Marty. Oh, that's funny. I have a Marty and a Marta. That was unintentional. I taught the two boys, and I gave them their quartet music for the recital. I had told Mason about it last week, and he was totally cool with it. He's like, okay, I'm fine with that. And Marty was the one I was worried about because he's the one who will just look at me and raise his eyebrows and say, "This is torture, I hate this," basically. He doesn't say those exact words, but I know that's what he's thinking. And I said, "Marty, you're going to play in the quartet." And he was like, "Oh, I am." And I said, "Yes. What if I don't?" I said, "Well, I could make Benny do it, but I wanted you to play with your brother." And he's like, "Well, fine then." We have this funny comical relationship between us. It's entertaining to me, especially since we know each other outside of me teaching them, because our families are friends. So there's that element. He's the same age, well, he's a year older than my sister. So we kind of just have this ongoing comical banter because I know he doesn't like piano. He knows that I know he doesn't like piano. No, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. He doesn't like piano, and he knows that I know that. And we just he doesn't have anything against me personally. He has everything against the piano and his mother who makes him play piano. But he doesn't have anything against me. He's made that very clear. But it's just kind of this funny, awkward thing we have. Anyways, so I said, I specifically am giving this quartet to you this week, Marty, because I know that you like to be prepared. We have 2 months until the recital. And he's the kid who jumps ahead like 10 steps, asking, "Oh, it has to be this tempo, and we have to have it perfectly, and are we going to practice, and this and that." And he's very organized and wants to know everything. And I'm like, I don't even know when the recital is, but I'm giving this to you now. You have 2 months to learn it. That's plenty of time. I've specifically had it this week just for you, Marty. And he's like, "Well, thanks for thinking of me." And gave me a thumbs up. Anyways, and then I of course just finished teaching Marta today. My brain is like Space Cadet right now. I'm sorry if I'm not making a lot of sense. I just finished teaching Marta about 50 minutes ago. Yeah. Wow, I've been sitting here almost an hour. Wow, cool. I've been doing some stuff in the studio. She is still loving piano, still talks a million miles an hour. She's my chatty student, just like Lizzie was. She's like a new Lizzie, which is nice. I mean, it's not awkward sitting here. Anyways, I think that's all I have for you guys today. More updates to come on the recital. Should be fun. This video turned out to be very long. I hope you enjoy. Have a good rest of your week and weekend. I may possibly have a video out next week? Question mark? We'll see. Anyways, have a good one. Go in and enjoy some music. Bye-bye.